So tell us some of the things about the worms that you've discovered.
Yeah, well, what it is, basically, I've got some Canadian worms. These are from Worms Direct. What it is, the current crop of big worms at the moment are coming from Canada. And as you can see, the size of them, they're absolutely beautiful. Really juicy, really long. Quite succulent, really. Best I stop myself there. Right, and then if you see these, I don't know if you can see these, I actually dug these up from my garden in Manchester yesterday afternoon. And as you can see, it's all very well trying to be a traditionalist like Mr. Crabtree, thinking, oh, I'm going to dig my own worms, lad, and all the rest of it.
They're a bit tragic, aren't they?
But they are tragic, so really...
What about if you put washing up liquid in water and then put it in your garden?
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of washing up liquid in
No.
I have caught them, though.
Yeah. What you actually find with washing up liquid, the reason that they come to the surface, because you're poisoning them, because they actually breathe through their mucus in their skin. And what you do, it's the washing up liquid that's poisoning them. So really, I wouldn't use them because I think the fish can detect that at some point. Yeah. And they reckon, you know, just an interesting fact, if you put a bottle of washing up liquid in the sea, it will still be there in 70,000 years' time. And if you put a barrel of oil in the sea, crude oil, it will be gone after 80 years. So that's washing up liquid, so I wouldn't bother using it. But anyway, so these are the Canadian worms. A couple of interesting facts is that each worm has 15 hearts and 2 brains. Now they're hermaphrodites, which means they're men and women, but sometimes they take on the form of a man and sometimes they take on the form of a woman.
There was an interesting thing you said about the female worm, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they have 2 brains as a man, but if you cut the brain out when it's a woman, they just carry on as if nothing's happened.
So it's just normal then?
Just as normal. But yeah, so that's the worms. Like I said, 15 hearts. The other really interesting thing is you look at the humble lobworm and it actually lives, you won't believe this, for 15 years. No, I know, I look like I'm slightly obsessed with worms. They live for 15 years.
I thought they lived a bit more than that, maybe.
Yeah, oh, hello, you see. There you go, just had a small inquiry.
What's that you were telling me about in the 10 years of using worms? You've only ever woke up with a lob on twice, where it's been
that's
there
right.
in the morning.
That's which is absolutely true. I mean, the thing is, if you can imagine, all the bits attack it in the night, so it's very unlikely that if the carp don't take it, it's unlikely it's going to last till the morning. But twice in 10 years, I've woke up with a lob on, basically. So it's quite an interesting fact.
You're getting on a bit also.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I said, we're using it today. I just quickly want to explain the technique that I use. I can turn up somewhere, I don't thrash the water to a froth. What I actually do is, I get one rod out, straight away, cast it anywhere. And what I do, I'm making the other rod up. I'll quickly show you the rig in a minute, with a little bag on it and the way it works and everything. And what I do, I watch for the tiniest sign of a fish. The minute I see a fish, straight on its head. And that's what I do. And then I have that rod back in, the one that went out first, and I start to tie the rig up again, put the bag back on again. And what I do, basically, I only leave them out there 15 minutes. So, I mean, I know I've got 2 rods out at the moment, but normally there's one out and one in, and they're 15 minutes each.
You're up all night with these things, aren't you? Redoing them and...
Yeah, I mean, I used to, when I was keen with it, I used to have some brilliant fish at night. And I used to be, I've
been fishing with you, mate. You're a nightmare. Up and down, all that.
I know.
Bags going, have you got any more PV and FW? And
I know, it's mental. But it's such an exciting way of fishing. I mean, if you think about it as well, in terms of they were £3 for like a tub of lobs. I mean, and I would never use that in a day. So you can basically go fishing for a day for £1. And going back to what I was saying in terms of the technique, what I'll do, if I don't see anything and it's the middle of winter, I imagine in my own mind, because I've got like a bit of a warped mind sometimes, but a little radar that fans out from me swim. What I do, I just keep plotting them about. And I keep plotting them. And that's what I do all day. And the amount of fish, and I've got to tell you the last thing as well, each water, I always have a little notebook and I always call it a percentage water. And I'll give you an example. There was a place down in Ham Pool, the place I told you about where I had the first big one. That turned out to be what I call a 30-to-1 water. So I would catch 30 of something else.
30 nuisances
to
for
every one carp.
And
people say, oh, how can you do that? But yeah, you've had 60 fish in a day and 2 carp and nobody else has caught anything. And like you saw today, we cracked on straight away. It was out 10 minutes. All right, we lost it in this occasion. But that is the power of the way.
It's spectacular, isn't it? Nice one, John.
Cool.
Thanks,